The Finals is the worst FPS free-to-play cross-platform game I have played in a long time. And here's why.
Says you're ready, my friend.
The game has three classes currently as light, medium, and heavy. I do believe that medium is the best way to go. Heavy is useful if you understand how to work around the map and how to destroy structures, and light, if your movement's good enough, can carry. But the problem is overall just the health and movement part of the map, making medium just the best overall pick. Even though light is the most fun, and I personally believe heavy is the most mundane, boring option you could pick. I would love to see a lot more balance between the three classes, especially with the weapons. Even though the movement is really good for light, the weapon selection, especially starting off, isn't the best. Medium by far has the best starting gun. The game currently has some bugs. The first thing I ran into was the fact that I couldn't add a friend and play with them right away. I had to restart my game, so if anyone rocks into that same problem, you can just restart your game and you should be able to invite your friend. But that's something I wouldn't expect and shouldn't have been there, especially on the first day. The game overall is pretty fun. I would say I had a good time playing it. The movement's addictive. But what I find annoying is the recoil and the overall concept of the cash out. You could have a cash out and start it, and if someone just comes in and kills you, it doesn't matter, they're going to grab it. So it almost feels like doing all the work to get to the cash out is meaningless. And all that matters is you winning that last fight, making it a lot easier for you just not to grab the cash out, camp by the nearest pillar to start the cash out, and kill whatever team comes in there as soon as they're done. It was to the point that even in games where my entire team had the best KDs as far as the three players, we would still lose the game as long as the one team came through the last second after a team fight and third-partied you, or simply had better positioning on the points and killed you last second. They're going to claim that 10,000 to win the game, and that happened countless times. Besides that fact, there's also that when you queue for a game, the likelihood of you getting into a game where a team already has 10,000 queued up is highly likely, which is ridiculous because if you only need 20,000 or 40,000 to win the game's basically over. There were some queues where I hopped in the game for maybe a couple seconds, and the game was lost. Which I get, that happens all the time, but there was, I think, 5 games in a row where that happened to me. Even when I switched the game mode, that was still a problem. Another thing is levers. There's currently a lot of levers when you play. I believe that out of every game I played, I only had 2 games where people didn't leave mid-match. And that obviously affects you a lot. The last thing I actually complain about is the recoil on the guns. Some of them are just ridiculous. The AK and the SCAR moving left to right, which makes no sense as far as recoil goes. The pistol that you have in the beginning of this game for medium class is stupid overpowered. If you have the aim for it, you could literally just tap on enemies, which makes the meta a little bit annoying. I get it as far as, you know, the recoil being really high, but the range and the damage that that pistol does, especially as a starting weapon, is absolutely insane. You see here, going left right. Now, obviously my aim's not the best, but still, the left right is something weird to get used to that other games I feel like don't have the same amount of recoil. And this is super noticeable. Like I don't even know where to move my mouse pad to get this. Am I moving left, right? The spread is constantly moving, I feel like, left to right, which makes me feel like if I should just track straight onto the enemy, or should I move left, right to kind of even it out. It's something that gets quite annoying when I'm trying to track enemies. I'm not expecting that, you know, all things to be perfect in the game, especially on the first day of the release, and this is when I'm playing it, but I'm expecting a little bit of more quality and cohesiveness towards the game. It definitely felt like this was rushed and there were parts of the game missing. What I also found off-putting was the size of the maps. There were times that I was so far from the objective after respawn that it was impossible to win the game. Like, if they're mid cash out and I'm 1 mile away to the point where I need to take an Uber, 7 grappling hooks, and just dolphin dive to the point. It makes no sense. I had to literally be Superman in some of these games to even get to the objective, which is, I get it, they have a little marker there for you to find it, but the map is so huge and has so many levels to it that it makes it almost impossible to reach the objective in time, even when you're playing light class. And I was playing medium for most of the gameplay, but imagine if you play heavy. When you play heavy, it's quite literally impossible for you to hit the objective on certain maps, to the point where the game is over. This team right here for the purple cash out are easily going to win, because it takes us a good amount of time, if not minutes sometimes, to get to the objective. Now a lot of that is knowing the map and, you know, how to move properly, but I could see even someone being super proficient in movement and understanding the map layouts taking a decent amount of time for an objective time-based game. Like I said earlier though, the game is quite fun. I feel like after a couple updates, this will be an amazing free-to-play game with your friends. The movements, the ability to break down the map, the differences in classes. Overall, the dynamic gameplay is extremely interesting and extremely fresh. I feel that after a few tweaks towards the game modes, that this will be a really exciting FPS to play. Right now, I believe you can only queue up with 2 other people, so you have a squad of 3. The game modes are 3v3v3, or you can do 3v3 v3 v3. So either 4 squads or 3 squads. When you play 4 squads, the game objective is to get 40,000, so 4 cash outs. Or you can go for the 3 squads, which is only 20,000, which is 2 cash outs. I personally like the 4 squads better. I just feel like the game is a little bit more dynamic. When you get to only like 20,000 cash out, the game kind of feels one-dimensional as far as like the objective goes. Once one team has 10,000, for you to actually beat that team is quite literally impossible. You can catch up and then tie it and hit 10,000, 10,000. That happens to me quite a few times, but at the end of the day, that team that has that synergy is going to get another cash out a lot more likely than you're going to get 2 more cash outs. And it's just simply the way it is. There were times that we would grab the, I believe it's like cash or deposit. We'll say deposit. You grab the deposit, we'll make it towards or close to it, and then one team will die, we'll get another one to grab it, start the cash out, and you'll have people camping there just to kill you, or wait for you to slightly load up and then steal it from you. It was extremely, not annoying, but just, it felt like it didn't make sense. It felt like you were putting in a lot of work to get almost absolutely nothing. It felt like the true objective of the game was to position yourself correctly around the cash out so you can wipe out the enemy team that comes in with the deposit. That was a lot better of a strategy, it felt like, in those games. And the only times that we did get cash outs were when we either had someone that was amazing at the game, someone that has a ton of hours for the game to just release today, or when we had a camp set up between the 3 of us and killed whoever got to that cash out. And even when we did that as a team, there was times that the 3rd squad would come in waiting from a longer distance and kill us. They would get the high ground, long-range weapons, kill us, and clean up. It was something that really annoyed me in this game. I feel personally that if you change the dynamic of the game mode and make it search and destroy or demolition, I think that would just work a lot better. Even Team Deathmatch would be so exciting and fresh in this game. Team Deathmatch would work amazingly with the map size. You could open up the amount of players that could be in one lobby, and the game would be extremely fun. Give us more game modes. This cash out system, I feel like, is just a hassle to deal with throughout the game. It's something I didn't look forward to at all while playing. I was super excited to get my kit, customize my character, and fight other teams, but I did not want to deal with the objective whatsoever because it was just annoying. Also, right here, this is a great clip. I just remembered this. The fragging system in the game is ridiculous. right click is like a short throw, and then left click is a long throw, which doesn't make sense. The arc that they show you with the blue line should just be the throw automatically. It shouldn't be that you could decipher if you want to go long or short, but not see the actual trajectory of the frag when you're throwing it. What's the point of having the trajectory if you're not going to throw it that way? So that's part of the game. Like I said, I think with updates and over time, this game will be amazing and close to perfect. I really enjoy the movement, the demolition, the classes. There seems to be high clip potential. Even that moment right there where the team brought down and broke 2 floors, that's such an amazing concept, and it was something that you were able to play with and have fun with throughout every map. I'm not saying I hate the game. I know I sound like a negative Nancy and I'm just complaining the whole time about the game, but I personally thoroughly enjoyed the game. I just want more development, more game modes, and to see them really work on this. If they leave the game like this, it's not going to turn out well. It's not going to be, you know, I've talked about game and I feel like it will die very fast. But if the devs are updating and checking on their game, this could easily be one of the best free-to-play cross-platform games to exist. You know, toppling Fortnite, Apex. I truly believe that this has the potential to be great and bring in a huge fan base, but there needs to be a lot of work done, especially with character models. I was really thrown off by the character models in this game. I feel like no matter what, the body types were a little off of the classes. Like heavy, medium, and light, they felt like they were all like 20% body fat, just different bone structure. I would have liked to see the light class be a lot more like lean and wiry, and the heavy class maybe either be lean towards more the corpulent side or towards the muscular side, and the medium class just be average. It felt like you just changed the heights of each model to the point where if you're playing light, you look like you're 7 inches, and if you're playing heavy, you look like you're 7 foot, like you're LeBron James with a machine gun. It makes no sense, and it was kind of funny looking at it in game and in the load-up screen. I would just like different frames and better character models and more options overall with customization. These are just my critiques of the game, but I think if you haven't played the finals yet, you should. It's extremely dynamic. There's a lot of teamwork involved, and the classes really do matter. If you don't have support or someone's getting pocketed and you're not, it's really big. Positioning is everything. Timing is everything. It really does feel like something new and something different than what I've played. Obviously, as far as aiming, IQ, there's mix and match of other games, but truly it felt like something different when I was playing this. And a good different. I thoroughly enjoyed my time playing this, even for the short time that I had, like 2 hours that I ran this. If you haven't played yet, I would definitely give it a try, especially if you like playing with your friends cross-platform. I personally, like everyone I know, is on a different system, so games like this, especially when they're free, you know, easy accessibility is everything. Give it a try. See what you think. I can almost promise you that you're going to have somewhat fun. You might rage at small things like the comp, the grenades, the amount of damage that you're dealing, but I think that's all part of the charm of the game. If they're updating this game, I will be on record saying that this is going to be one of the best free-to-play games ever. If they don't update the game, I think this will die within the year. So I hope I can go back in this video and say that we're still enjoying this 4 or 5 years later. Peace out, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me I'm wrong. Say that you hate every take that I had here. And say that you think the game's super boring, but the recoil, customization, and cash out system is perfect. You know, completely disagree with me. I don't care. I just want to know what you guys think.
See if I had the M11.